Hello, hello, merhaba, buongiorno, bonjour. My name is Kass Thomas, and I'm so delighted to be here on Super 7 TV. Years ago, I was physically present on one of these interviews and have done many in the following years. And then I got invited to do something on my own. And they asked me, what would the title be? It's a very interesting question. What would be the greatest contribution, right? And I thought about, the times of communication, which I have been working on for many years. And they said on this first podcast that I should talk a bit about myself. I'd love to share what I have named this series, and it's Liberate Your Mind. Liberate your mind, free your mind, right? It's also a song that I have created, and I have been creating music, theater, television, films, podcasts, and classes and coaching, and really looking to see what is the greatest contribution that I can not only receive, but that I can also be. And this is an invitation to see not what we think we're supposed to be, right? But what it is that we chose to come on this planet at this time and be. So that's what I would love to share a bit with you. I'm currently in northern Italy near Venice in this particular day, but I was born in Boston, Massachusetts, in the United States. It's called New England, not Old England, but New England. And I lived there until I was 18. And I chose to leave Boston and go to a larger city, New York City. I did university in New York, undergraduate university, and I really wanted to study something, a language. Of course, my dad told me, don't study the languages. What are you going to do? Teach languages. So I did study broadcast journalism, and I guess we're broadcasting this, and so I am a journalist, and also mass communication, right? Global communication. And I love communicating with people. I always have. And so in a smaller city, about 650,000 people of Boston, which is a beautiful city, I chose to move to New York, which is about 10 million. So I talk a lot about expanding our zone, right? It's one of my books. I'm also an author. Did I mention that? I'm an author. And I have been working for many years with Access Consciousness Publishing. Even before it existed, I started getting translations because communicating with people, sometimes the first form of communication is energetic. However, sometimes people need to hear things in their language, And so I'm speaking in English. I love to speak in Turkish. I love to speak in French. I love to speak in Spanish. I'm fluent, obviously, in Italian since I'm currently living in Italy. But when I moved to New York City, something showed up for me that I had been aware of when I was 8 years old. I had a teacher in my elementary school who started putting on the board every day in French, right? Good morning, günaydın, as we say in Turkish, bonjour, Aujourd'hui est lundi. Good morning. Today is Monday. And she did that every day, Monday through Friday. And at the end of that year, I really wanted to move to Paris and speak French. And my dad, of course, said to me, you know, why are you studying French? Spanish is going to be the second language in the United States. And I said, if everyone's going to be speaking Spanish, then it will be easy to speak Spanish. I chose French. And what did that create? Well, when I went to New York University, they had a junior year abroad, meaning the third year of university, you could travel outside of the United States and study your third year. And I went to Paris. I went to Paris and spent a year there. And while in Paris, I traveled all around Europe and even went down to Spain, because that's in the south of France, and studied Spanish. Now, when I was going to study Spanish, I told my dad, so he had sent me a ticket. But the ticket was not a plane, it was a train. And I traveled for about 18 hours and was studying children's books. And so when I got to the end of Spain, really close to Malaga, what I was able to communicate was already in the present tense, in the past tense, in the future tense, thanks to all of those books. So the Spanish came to me very easily. And I moved back to New York to finish university and stayed there for another 10 years, went to graduate school, studied theater. I was working for almost 10 years in the hospitality industry at the Ritz-Carlton 5-star hotels, and was able to converse with people in different languages. And I really, really love that communication with people from around the world in a way that actually expands your zone, liberates your mind, frees your mind, as opposed to thinking what you have to do, what you're supposed to do, as opposed to what would bring you joy, what would make life fun for you. And the vibration that we are when we're actually enjoying life is something very different than when we're trying to get something accomplished, you know? So this free your mind and communicating with people around the world is an invitation to see how it is that you would like to communicate with yourself, with your life, with your future, with your family, with your children, if you have children, with people you've never met before, and how you can feel actually comfortable in your own skin. Because what I say, I have a couple of books. One is called The 7 Steps to Flawless Communication, 7 Adim, and it's in 20 languages. And it's very simple, it's very small, but it's about how to communicate with others. First, communicating with yourself, connecting with yourself, and following your knowing, your intuition, your sixth sense, whatever you want to call it, right? However you want to express it. And it depends on with whom you are talking, the way you're going to express what you would like to communicate. And so I started writing this 7 Steps book years ago. And it was a big, intense book. Someone had asked me to write it. The founder of Access Consciousness, which you can find more about that on accessconsciousness.com, told me, listen, Kass, the way you communicate is quite different. In fact, when I first met Access in 2005 and met the founder of Access, at a class in the United States. I asked him to come to Europe. And he said, when would you like me to come? I said, what would it take for you? And he told me 30 people. Now he has hundreds of people in the class. And I invited him to come to Italy. I had him staying at my bed and breakfast in Rome, Bellino Corbelli. And we did some amazing classes. And so he invited me to please share with the world what you know about communication. So I was like, okay, I have to do something that's really, significant. So I started writing this book, and I wrote this book, and I woke up one morning and I got a download. What does that mean? A complete clarity about the ease with which we can communicate with others that will make it enjoyable, delightful, and accessible for them. So I started writing this new book, the 7 Steps book, that is so simple, so easy, and yet profound. And it's so much easier sometimes to communicate with other people than it is to communicate with ourselves, you know? So we have a podcast on Super 7 TV with one of the 7 Steps teachers, 2 of the 7 Steps teachers, about what are the 7 Steps about. And if you'd ever like to join, just check it out on 7steps.us. And that book came out first in German because people in Germany were calling me, please, please come and do this. And then it came out in English and French. And now it's in over 20 languages, 20 written languages, and the first language, which is energy. Yeah. And so that book that I had been writing for so long is now out. It's called Dancing with Riches. And it's just like the 7 Steps, it's a book, it's a song, and it's a workshop. It's been a workshop for almost 7 years as well, about working with the abundance and creating your career, your projects with other people, and recognizing what you would like to do that would be fun for you, that would be a contribution for you, that would make you money, that would actually allow you to enjoy it. So working with the riches of your life, which is actually what is unique and different about you, that if you're willing, it will ping you, ring, ping you, ring. No coincidences. It will ring you, and it will be in rhythm with your vibration. So it doesn't mean you have to physically dance, but when you're in rhythm with what is unique and different about you, your body is already dancing inside. The molecules are already moving all the time. The molecules are in the cells, and the cells are moving. And also there's water, there's blood, there's all kinds of things moving in your body. But sometimes we're detached from that, right? And we're not being present. Has it ever shown up with you? Have you ever been in a situation, in a job, in a business, in a relationship, and not been present? Not being willing to recognize what's unique and different about you and what you enjoy, right? And a lot of times in communicating that to people, we are detaching from them. But you don't have to do that. Stay connected with you. And that's what I talk about in the 7 Steps. Stay connected with you. Recognize when you're disconnected with you so that you can reconnect with yourself and others in a very different way. And you will establish true connection. And true connection is about knowing that you are home no matter where you are, because you live on planet Earth. You're physically in a body, you are living on planet Earth. And everyone you'll meet, anyone you will come into, they're also living on planet Earth, right? So that establishing true connection is feeling at home no matter where you are, and not feeling like you can get you wrong. One of the things I always say is you can never get you wrong. Even if someone is criticizing you, quote unquote, right? You might, if you're connected with you, want to engage in a way with them that lets them know you can share with me what your perspective is about me. I will not feel badly, and perhaps it will give me another illumination about what my capacity is. So we play a lot with these workshops. And I remember when I first ran into Access Consciousness, in 2003, I got these Access bars. They're 32 points on the head, right? And a couple of questions that you can ask. And the first thing that I saw when I was looking for something that would be a contribution to me, I remember I asked God, Allah, Buddha, Shiva, the stars, the angels, the clouds, the animals, the trees. I asked everything. What is it that I can be, that I can do, that would allow me to enjoy being here? And two things showed up for me. One, producer of spiritual work that I had known from the United States. He's from India. And the other was Access Consciousness. So I went to both in that February. And I remember the thing about Access Consciousness that I loved to hear, which was Access does not have the answer for you. Whoever says that, Access does not have the answer for you. Only you have the answer for you. Access Consciousness has questions that will invite you to recognize what it is that you would like to be, do, have, create, generate, and share with the world. Isn't that awesome? So lots of times people are judging themselves. Lots of times people are not hearing what other people are saying to them. I don't know if that has ever happened to you, that you've got a chain on your brain, and when someone says something to you, you don't actually hear what it is they are saying. You actually hear something different. But when you are willing, and no matter what it takes, to liberate your mind is like this 10%, maybe even 12% of your brain capacity. And your brain is probably like 1/100th of your body, or maybe 1/50th of your body. What about the rest? What about your heart? What about your chakras? What about your beat? What about your rhythm? What is it that you are in line with? And that rhythm, if you're willing to recognize what your rhythm is, what your magic is, what are the riches of your life, you can create abundance even without traveling, even staying home, but knowing that no matter where you are always at home. Yeah. So this Liberate Your Mind, I have so many people in my life from around the world, And I have been in every continent, almost every country. I've certainly been to Turkey maybe almost 10 times, many friends there. And I always love connecting with people from wherever they are, wherever they're living, wherever they're from, and knowing that I have chosen to be here on planet Earth at this time to be engaging with people in many different forms and structures and many different working engagements. And I have been recently acting. Am I an actress? I'm just Cass. People will ask me to do a television series or to do a film. Okay. Singing, am I a singer? I'm Cass. It's my voice. To do production of films, am I a producer? I'm Cass. Yeah. So, who and what are you in this lifetime that perhaps, up until now, that's my Delhi phrase from India, up until now, perhaps you have never actually explored, right? Would you like to play? I believe these different podcasts, I'll be doing one once a month, and on the of the month, first Sunday of the month, and midnight in Turkey time. We'll be doing these, and it's a little earlier in Italy, where I'm living currently, and it's a little earlier in the United States and in South America. So we'll have people on, and I can always have people translating different things that I talk about with different languages. And what is your approach to life and living? Are you willing to liberate your mind? The mind is when we're thinking, the brain is something different. To liberate your mind, recognize what the riches of your life are and why you're here and what is the gift. And I've said this before. What is the gift? What is the gift, or what are the gifts that you can be and receive in every moment of your life? I've been facilitating around the world for over 10 years, traveling a lot, and I am now really wondering, what is the gift that I can be to invite people to explore their magic? Yeah. This new series of podcasts is going to be with different topics, different people, sometimes with me alone, sometimes with people who will show you how they are approaching life and hopefully inspire you, invite you, and really gift you the abundance that's been waiting for you all along. You can find more information in different languages on the website, and they'll share it with you, cassthomas.com. But also, you can find more information the moment you are willing to perhaps read one of these really simple books and perhaps engage with some of the playing, right? One of the things that I suggest, especially about liberating your mind, is carrying with you a joke, something that makes you laugh. Because when you're feeling really tense, dense, restricted, not happy, you can pull out that joke and see how you can begin a laughter. You can liberate your mind because the time has come to open up your mind. You'll be amazed at what you find. When you start to leave ignorance behind, you can think for yourself and you'll liberate your mind. That's the song. The time has come, open up your eyes. You'll be amazed at what you find when you stop to leave ignorance behind. Think for yourself and you liberate your mind. Yeah, there's a bunch of songs and I will share them with you. They're on YouTube, they're all over the place. And begin really being willing not to feel guilty because you get distracted by feeling guilty. And as Nelson Mandela, the former president of South Africa, said, I never fail. I either win or I learn something. So, what is it that you're willing to learn today that will open up your abundance in a very different way? And I hope that throughout these next couple of months, that what we are sharing together and what we are engaging with together will be an invitation for you to liberate your mind, liberate any of the obstacles that have been slowing you down, right? And no matter what has shown up in your life up until now, there are no coincidences. So if you're willing to look at things from a different perspective, from the right, from the left, up, down, in front of you, behind you, you're willing to see things from different perspectives and then listen to your body, which will communicate to you what's good for you, what's right for you, what will bring you the joy that makes living here well. We have, a few of these 7 steps programs on children, parenting, business, and also when people have been feeling abused verbally, energetically, work-wise, sexually, how can we invite them to see things from a different perspective and know that the gift that being here on this planet is something that they can give to the planet. A lot of times people want to leave. I don't know if you've ever had any friends that have chosen to leave, maybe to commit suicide, or even people who have gotten illness, there's nothing that shows up by coincidence. So if you're being distracted by mental things, then liberating your mind in whatever way works for you. There's lots of great access tools. There's questions, right, that you can use. You can check out access facilitators all over the world. You can read some books. There's some amazing books on Access Publishing. My books are distributed by Access AC Publishing or Access Consciousness Publishing. There's some great books. You can do classes. You can listen to free Zooms. You can attend workshops. You can become a teacher. You can also play with Reiki, with yoga, with so many things. Whatever it is that works for you will allow you to connect with you and recognize what's unique and different about you. I call it your magic, right? Step one, demonstrate your magic. Be proud to be unique. Step two, converse with your body and listen closely when it speaks. Step three, lower your barriers and your vision will expand. Step four, go beyond the veil. Shed your mask and take a stand. Step five, engage with the universe and you'll open yourself to new perspectives. Step six, expand your comfort zone. The possibilities are endless. And step seven, connect with the earth. Be a part of the beauty. Enjoy the sensations. These are the 7 steps to flawless communication. And so when you're willing to free your mind, liberate your mind, and bars, the access bars are amazing for that. And it's just about giving you more freedom in your mind. Free your mind. Then you see the world from a different perspective and you enjoy being here. It's so delightful. It's so delicious. Every time, I don't know if you've ever seen the same sunset more than one time. It's different every time. The sunrise, it's different every time. And you, every day, are someone new. Be grateful to wake up in the morning. And if you are thinking about leaving the planet, please liberate your mind. Take the chain off your brain and liberate your mind. And do not choose to leave unless being out of body would be a greater contribution to being in body. I remember once, and I'll just tell you this, when I was in Bodrum in the south of Turkey, and a friend of mine had taken an Access 3-day body class with me, and also, the right voice for you. It's in a specialty class I do with Access Consciousness and a foundation and everything. And she wanted to introduce me to this, political guy's wife who was reading the Quran with people, right? And so she put us together, and we were sitting having, tea together. And she said, "How do you like it here?" And I said, "Oh, I love it. My body loves it. I love being here in the south of Turkey, near the sea. It's just so beautiful. My body's very happy." And she said, "You keep talking about your body. What is your body for you?" And no one had ever asked me that. And I said, "Thank you so much for asking me that. My body is my best friend, right? The only one who's been with me every day of my life." And then she said, "Well, if and when you were to leave your body, you get a certain age and, maybe you die, would you choose to come back in another body?" Amazing question. And I said, "You know what? If the contribution I can be and receive is greater being in a body, yes, I would choose to come back." So what I would like to say to you is that there's lots of contributions you can receive and be being in a body. Doesn't mean you can't leave the planet. Just means if you're willing to see what that contribution is, being physically present here, then it opens your eyes, it expands your zone, and you're able to see and meet new people and new things than what perhaps is currently in your life, right? And what I shared with her is that, I'm so happy that Gary Douglas, the founder of Access Consciousness, chose to be physically present in a body at the time I discovered Access, because energetically I may have received it, But at the time, I needed it to be visually and physically present, right? So, what is it that you require to be visually present in order for you to choose it? It's all there. It's all there. But ask yourself, ask your body, and see how you receive the response. Somebody will call you, your phone will ring, somebody will walk by, a doggy, maybe, a cat, right? A bird. Something will present itself to you when you ask a question. And this is what I love about that first thing I read about access consciousness. It's not about the answers. It's not that Access has an answer for you. Access has some questions for you. And that you don't have to do Access. You can enjoy the abundance that it could create in your life if you ask some questions. So connect with someone that will ask you a question. If it doesn't work for you, connect with someone else. If it doesn't work for you, connect with someone else. But talk to your body and ask your body, what is it? Great question. What is it that I can be, do? What is it that I can do? What is it that I can have? What is it that I can create? What is it that I can generate that would allow me to enjoy life in this world at this time? Okay? Notwithstanding everything that may have gone on, shown up until now. But from this moment forward to the future, what are you going to choose? Are you going to choose you? Are you going to choose to be beyond your mental capacities? You don't have to eliminate them, but just know it's a small part of who you are. There's a vibration that you are. When you liberate your mind, your breathing will change and you will see things in a very, very different way. So, are you ready to liberate your mind? Just a little introduction, probably 100,000 other things to tell you about me. Just a little introduction, a little invitation for you to connect with you, to recognize that you are unique and different, that there's nobody on the planet, not one person on the planet who is exactly like you. So if you're not being you, are you being a gift to the planet? Are you receiving a gift from the planet? Because if you're the only version of you that exists, then you being present with you is a gift to the flowers and the trees and the birds and the bees. And when you're walking down the street, the trees will be happy because you're being you. When you're walking or driving on the highway, the lights will shine. If you're willing to liberate your mind, you will shine. Yeah. So thank you so much for being here and listening. I hope this was okay for you. And it was lovely for me. And I love the vibration. And please, please remember, you're the best version of you that has ever existed. So anything and everything that is waiting for you, that is wanting to contribute to you, that is willing to lift you up beyond any masks, veils, free you from any contraction, chains on your brain. Are you ready? Are you willing to liberate your mind? Check that song out on YouTube, Liberate Your Mind by Kass Simba. I'll share that with you. And If you're ready, take the chain off your brain, liberate. You say you're free, but you must be blind. You're just a slave of a different kind. Your confusion is by design. Take the chain off your brain and liberate your mind. Motivate your mind. Venerate your mind. Invigorate your mind. Liberate. That's a little piece of the song, yes. And the dancing with riches you'll find on there too. Dancing, 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 dancing with riches. Life can be difficult. Life can be difficult. At times it weighs you down. But that's no reason to go through every day with a frown. Take a look at the brighter side. Be strong, be ready, be free. Learn from your failures and become all you can be. Dancing with riches. Each day is a brand new start. Dancing with riches will open up your heart. Dancing with riches, the world will choose your chart, but you are the best one. Your joy will be off the chart. Dancing with riches. Okay. Thank you so much. And I hope that I will hear from you, see you, check me out, click like, and please connect with you. And it can and will change the world, not just your world, but the entire world. May the force be with you. Peace and love, Tashikular. In Tashikurim, la 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 la. Tashikurim, la da 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 da. Okay, bye.